I mean, in a nutshell, what I do, which is different, is that I have a sort of 3 to 4 year plan that over that time I will communicate all the primary principles, skills, qualities and abilities that you need to meditate well and to grow and develop. So I'm definitely clear in my own mind things I've talked about, things that need re-emphasizing, new things, new ways of saying old things, maybe. But there will be absolutely primary and important foundation things that many of you who come over time will recognize, but hopefully will be communicated in a fresh way. That's what I aim for, anyway. So this morning, before tea break, I just want to introduce a topic, a very primary topic, and then the meditation part is actually going to be in 2 parts. So the first part is setting up. And this communicates the absolute primacy of setting up. That when you're at home and you're going to meditate, if you've got time, rather than just go straight into the mindfulness of breathing or the metta bhavana, you take time to set up. And you'll hear more about that in a moment. So it's going to be a relatively thorough setting up. And then there'll be a sort of sitting quietly a few moments. And then on the basis of the setting up, I'll guide you into an awareness of the body and the breath, not the mindfulness of breathing as such, but just the body and the breath, bringing in some of the primary points and skills. And then that'll be the first part. So is everyone okay with their posture? Anyone need help with their posture? Sitting, you all right? Cool, okay. So the primary principles that I wanted to introduce first, in the first part, are, firstly, the principle that when you meditate, you always work from where you are. So this connects with that very important question, what's here, how am I, what's going on? So there's something I introduce pretty much every time I lead a class, what's here? So you start to actually notice how you are, your energy, your mood, what's happening in your body, whether you feel discomfort or not, or comfortable, and whether you're up for being here or really want to be somewhere else in your mind, or even in your mind as well as actually somewhere else. So all of this is what's here, what's happening, and that is the foundation of the practice. If you miss that stage of asking yourself what's here, it's like you're jumping over yourself to get somewhere, and you miss the skills of noticing what's taking you away from being engaged and present. And that is actually really important. See, quick to say you miss the skills, but actually, when I start banging my hands, I really am serious. This is really important. You build up skills of noticing what's here and working with it. So you know, a very obvious example is you notice straight away that you've got a preoccupation. Right in the beginning, in the setting up, you notice your mind is away. And you notice that preoccupation and you assess it, saying, well, actually, it's either it does need thinking about, but not now. Or it's completely irrelevant to what I'm doing now, and I'm going to, all through the practice, guard against feeding it. So that is a skill, being able to notice, recognize, and decide to clear, and to do that is a skill. And it comes out of noticing what's here. I think I made all the connections there. All the dots are connected. So if you're jumping over yourself to get where you want to go, where you think you should be, then you very rarely get there. Or if you get there, you've forced yourself to get there, and it's unstable. It doesn't really stick. So working from where you are means that it's what you develop into absorption, or calmness, or stillness, or clarity of mind, or inspiration. You grow into it from where you are, rather than trying to jump to it. So, on that basis, you have number one, which is working from where you are, and number two is having clarity about your long-term intentions, which is actually different from just thinking where you should be. So the main way of thinking about long-term intentions is, when I sit down, and this isn't me, I'm just saying it, right? When I sit down, I can't actually be bothered, and so I just drift. I just fall asleep. I sink, and I know I do that. So my intention, based on my experience from the past, is to encourage myself now. Encouragement is really important in meditation and in life and in friendships. And you say, come on, I'm here. Now that I'm here, I might as well just do it rather than waste my time. So let's do it, and I can do it. So you notice that you have a tendency to sink away and just sort of go like that. I mean, quite literally. We have a friend who does that a lot. He snores as well, but I'm not going to do that. So you go, well, I do that. That happens. But my intention is to catch it early and to be decisive in working against it, encourage myself to look for energy, look for why I'm doing this, my values. It's important. And these sort of long-term intentions mean that you grow over time. It's not like every morning you realise for the first time that you fall asleep. You know you fall asleep. I'm just using that as an example. You know that you do that. So you know that you have to watch out for that. Is that clear? Pretty clear? Relatively clear? Good. Okay. So now we're going to have a setup. Setting up meditation. So put yourself in a nice, comfortable, stable, and upright, poised position. It's always good just to take the time for this. Setting up your posture. Very good, yeah. So if you feel comfortable to do so, closing your eyes and getting used to asking yourself this question, what's here in myself, with myself? What's here? And your thought is directing yourself into experience of your body, your mood, your energy. How is it? Building up over time a repertoire of things that you notice in your body. Is there tension? Is there discomfort? Is there energy? And as you notice what's happening, you might ask the question, what's needed, if anything? What's needed, if anything? Just noticing what comes to mind. So if you notice any discomfort, just notice first of all, would a slight moving of your pelvis or your shoulders help your posture, which would help with that discomfort? So you just do that relatively quickly. And then if there's any discomfort, you bring a sort of expansive, open and kind awareness to that discomfort. You, as it were, let it be there, but as it were in the context of an open quality rather than a narrow tightness. And asking yourself, am I up for this? The meditation and being aware. And just noticing yes, no answer. If it's a yes, really embrace that yes. And if it's a no or maybe, then encourage yourself. without getting too heady. So you're engaging this with this aspiration to be up for it. You want to do it, and there's a sense of momentum to practice and engage. And now a quick scan broadly. Are there any background, periphery, trains of thoughts or fantasies going on? And just, if there are, just assessing them. Can I let them go? Do I need to engage with them later, but not now? And having the clear intention to keep noticing them, to let them go, perhaps with not now, and then coming back, engaging. And that periodically set the intention to check for that, clear it and come back. Then, if you meditate relatively regularly, just asking, is there a tendency, an unhelpful tendency I need to watch out for and work against? Just bring it to my mind and bring the intention to deal with it. Now, is part of your awareness of how you are now. Be open to any descriptive words of any positive qualities or positive experience that are actually here now, and engage with them. So that's the end of the setting up. We're just going to sit quietly for a few moments before going into the meditation on the body and the breath. Just staying aware, keeping connected. A clear intention to come into the sense of the body, feeling your back and the breath, and how the breath moves your back, as it rise and fall as the breath comes in and goes out. And bringing awareness up to the face, and softening any holding or tension that might be in your face, including in your mouth. And now the clear intention to let the breath and the whole flow and rhythm of the breath become, as it were, center stage. The breath. Noticing how the breath feels in your body as it comes in and goes out. The flow of the breath. Noticing if it's easy or difficult to stay with it. Engage with your determination to stay with it. Gentle determination. Noticing how far down in your body the breath goes, how long the breath is. If the breath is, as it were, short, just up, high, do this. On the next out breath, from your belly, push out all the air and then relax your belly and let the breath just pour in. And do that again. On the next out breath, when you come to the end of the out breath, push from your belly all the air out and then relax your belly and let the breath pour in so that it fills the whole of you all the way down. And now just let the natural rhythm and pace of the breath continue. Letting your attention settle into the breath and the flow of the breath. And the flow of the breath affects your mind. quick check whether your mind is sinking away or you've got distance from the body and the breath. Re-engage with enthusiasm, encouragement. Noticing if your mind goes to periphery thoughts and being decisive in clearing them and coming back. Letting your attention and your mind come together, coalesce with the breath and the movement and flow of the breath. Following it, staying with it. Now, within that whole flow of breath, bring your attention down to the belly and the breath, bringing it low into how the belly moves as the breath comes in and goes out, and staying with it. The belly and the breath. Relaxing into it. So staying with the belly and the breath, and just broadening your attention to get a general sense of how you are, taking it in, and then refocusing on the belly and the breath. Now coming back to the whole flow of the breath as it comes in and goes out. And now within that whole breath, bringing attention up into the nostrils and the sensation of the breath as it comes in and out. Breath in the nostrils. Adjusting your attention so you're not too laid back and distant or too forced and pushed on the breath, but as it were, just gently leaning into the experience of the subtle sensation in the nose. And resting. And as you're just sitting here, just being open to a word or two which are descriptive for how you are now. So still connected, but descriptive word for how you are. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, as it were, coming back into the room and sitting at ease. So as you come out of a meditation, a very useful skill to develop is related to that, the ongoing intention that you had at the setting up. So now you're at the tail end of the meditation. You could go, well, how did I do with that? Did I still have, oh, well, never mind, I'll just plan, or think about the past, or get anxious? Or did I actually notice it and deal with it? So you have this bit